Buzzers, welcome. This is AFTERBUZZ TV. There was definitely 50 Shades of Grey. We have two special guests joining us tonight. You don't want to miss it.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, you're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh my God, that came out like a really random time.
I'm loving this music.
Just like boom.
Just right in your face. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, AFTERBUZZers, welcome. This is Southern Charm, New Orleans Aftershow. We have two very special guests joining us tonight. But before we get started, I am your host, Mayte Carillo, and my lovely co-host tonight.
I'm looking extra lovely tonight.
Sure.
I am Charles Conoly, and I wasn't here last week, but I'm back this week. I just got back from Texas, y'all, so good to be back.
Well, I wasn't in Texas. I was just not here last week. I'm El Marie, and I'm excited to talk about this episode this week.
And El Marie is now our official
Yes, I'll be joining the panel.
panelist,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Matt couldn't be here tonight, and I'm sure he's missing out, but we do hope you feel better.
He's probably watching. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. But yeah, like I said, we have two very, very special guests joining us today. So if you guys, drum roll, we have Reagan and Jeff. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi guys.
Hi. Okay, can you guys, are we good? You guys could see? Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, awesome.
And I said this before the show. Y'all do look great, because I know it's midnight where y'all are. It's crazy.
So like,
Yes, I know it's only 10 p.m. where y'all are.
Yeah.
Technology. It's amazing.
So we definitely appreciate the fact that you guys are here with us today.
Guys.
There was just so much that happened in tonight's episode, and I feel like we're kind of like at Watch What Happens Live, where it's just such an intense episode, and then you have the cast members join you. So I'm very glad that you guys get to kind of clear the air on some things and really hone down on tonight's episode specifically. But before we get started, we kind of want to play a little game with you guys, because I'm not sure if you guys have ever been down to the West Coast, but there's some slang words that we use here. So if you guys have never been here, I feel like this will give you a great introduction to the Cali life.
No, and I didn't know. Mayte gave me a little preview before the show started. I didn't know any of these, except for like two of them.
Yeah, but you've been living here for like
7 months.
7 months.
Like, pretty new.
So you're fairly new.
We may be out a lot.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's see if you're better than me.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna get started. So the first word is hella. Do you guys know what hella means?
Hella means.
Yeah.
I mean, like extra, like it's.
Yes.
it's hella good, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Ding ding. 1 point. Next one is sig alert.
Sig alert.
Yeah, sig alert.
Never
Like
heard.
a cigarette?
Yeah. No,
No.
definitely not.
Like S-I-G or C-I-G?
SIGALERT. Sig alert.
Oh, I have no idea. I'm just
Never
kidding.
heard
I
of
don't know
that.
that one either.
I didn't know it either.
Let me school you guys. So
Oh.
I'm just kidding. A sig alert is basically, here in LA, there's always so much traffic, and we are so used to just taking a certain freeway to get to home. So if you turn on your Google Maps and you search for how to get to a certain destination, the sig alert will pop up and tell you, there's either too much traffic or there's been an accident, so you have to take a different route. Yes, so that's Cali life here in LA.
Yes.
Cool is that?
Yeah. All right, so here goes the next one. What about swap meet?
Swap meet?
Yes, swap meet.
Like where you go and you
Trade stuff?
like it's like a flea market for cars. Like,
Yes, correct. Oh wait, did you say for cars?
yeah.
Okay.
Clothes.
No, I mean, maybe it's for cars.
Maybe it's for cars. It's kind of like a flea market, yes, but it's
I
for.
thought it was like for stuff in general. Like you go and like swap things.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. We're
That's
gonna give it
correct.
to you. That's correct.
Cars.
Yeah.
See, when Mayte first asked me this, I thought she said swamp meat.
Well, he would know
I was
something about that.
like, gator meat? Like, what kind of meat were we talking about here?
M-A-T. Okay.
Yeah, and then our last one is cool.
Cool.
Like cool.
Yeah, cool. Except it's COO, cool. That's how we say it here. We're
See,
like,
everyone's
Like,
too cool here for the L.
Yeah,
So.
like we're just gonna leave the L off.
Silent L.
L's are out. L's are 2017.
Yeah. Nobody uses an L.
Okay, so you passed.
Yeah, so
officially.
you guys are passed. Yay. So you guys are welcomed here in LA. No, I'm kidding. Let's just jump right into it and get started with this episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was so much that happened. And, one of the huge main focuses was definitely the relationship between both of you. So let's just get started on that. There was so much emotional drama. And I definitely have to say, you guys are so transparent with your relationship that in the entire time we kept on looking at each other and we're like, we feel your pain. Like, we understand exactly what you guys are going through, even if we haven't gone through something similar ourselves. Yeah. But the fact that you guys are so transparent and allow, us to see that, it's pretty remarkable of you guys. So definitely applaud your guys' relationship because, as we can see, it's been through its ups and downs.
Yeah, and it's always great, I think. Like, obviously, this is y'all's first time experiencing reality television, unless there's something I don't know about that's in y'all's past. But it's always great, I think, when people are very vulnerable, like on reality TV, because it just makes it. This episode made me like y'all even more. Not that I didn't like you before, but
what? No, I'm kidding.
It made me like y'all even more. Was that something you kind of got a sense of when you were watching the episode, that like this was a vulnerable side? Were you uncomfortable with it? Was it how did you feel about watching it back?
I think that this was the episode that I was dreading the most. So, I mean, to hear that it was relatable in some sense it makes me really happy because I was terrified to see this. This was one of the most difficult nights of our life, our lives, and especially our married life together. I don't know if you would say, but it just all happened to play out in front of the cameras. So to have to relive that was particularly difficult. But to know that there were like hundreds of thousands and maybe over 1 million people, likely if it was anything like the last 2 weeks, over 1 million people watching, that was horrifying. So, I mean, no, it's hard to watch something that was difficult to go through at the time, to go through it again, and then to wonder how people will perceive. It's tough.
I think we can definitely be too transparent, Reagan and I, like for sure. And, we always live life in first person, so you don't ever really relive a situation. You have to go back and watch it. And I know I had a lot of regret because it was like, man, these people really do love me. I saw how much, and I put a lot of people in like a situation, especially with Barry, just with wanting to get out of there, and no one, he turned around, he got in the car and was like, I'm gonna come get him no matter what.
Yeah.
And so that was like, for me to be like, geez, like I was just an asshole that night.
No, I mean,
that's just what it was. So
Jeff, do you feel like the cameras being there probably increase your emotions that night, whether it was anxiety or whatever you were going through? Do you feel like having the camera there, knowing that someone was recording you and people would be watching it later, did that increase your emotions?
I mean, it probably definitely adds to it, but it was just a situation where, I suppressed a lot of emotions, gone through a lot, and I finally had a lot of alcohol on top of it, and I couldn't express myself. That was the way I did it. Yeah, of course, anything else around you, if it's cameras, if it's a crew, whatever it is, it's going to add to it for sure.
Yeah. And I know that it's tough, like in the moment, you say we're living in first person. It's tough whenever you're living it to think like, what positive could possibly come from this? But really watching it back, it really was great to see vulnerability, and it was so relatable. So I think it was a good moment. I mean, ultimately, in the long run, it might have felt tough at the moment. I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think ultimately it helped. Do you think?
I mean, it's our life. Like, it's our lives. It's our life, and it happened. And whether cameras were there or not, like, this was going to happen.
Right.
And I think that it's cathartic in a sense we really had to look inside of ourselves and like at our relationship and determine what was really going on, because it wasn't just between us anymore. It was playing out in front of all of these people, and I don't think we'd really let on with our friends. Like, we told them little bits and pieces, like, of things that we're going through, but when all of a sudden it's happening in front of, like, you have, like, an audience, and not, like, the audience we're talking about tonight, like, just an audience of, like, 15 to 20 people, you have to suddenly explain yourself, and when that happens, then you have to, like, explain yourself to yourself, and we'd had discussions already that were, I mean, I would say we were really getting down to what we thought was the nitty gritty. And then when you involve all of these other people, you really start to break it down. And so where it was hard, it was helpful.
Did you feel the need to, like, explain yourselves to your friends? Because I know, like, Reagan, your family has been in that area for a while. Like, did you feel the need to, like, come clean with everybody when the show was airing? Or did you kind of let the shows and the episodes speak for themselves? Like, how were those emotions? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think that when we were in a really small area, and so people knew that, you know, we were working on something, but to be honest, I never really feel the need to explain myself to anybody for anything that I do. I think that, I don't know, it's not that I'm not being considerate. I just think that I think that things have to play out, and there's a certain timeline that you have to give yourself, and especially a project that you're working on. But my friends and peers and family, they all knew that we were working on something, and to a certain extent, they knew what was happening in our lives, not all of the details that we saw tonight, but you know, they knew that we were going through some things, and I think that no one's going to be surprised at anything that they see, but at the same time, like, there are really intimate details that we shared that maybe people weren't expecting.
Yeah, and then I think there was also a really great part of this episode was the fact that you're just so patient, and your patience just reflected out so much, and the fact that, you know, you're in this relationship, you know, you guys are husband and wife, and the way that you guys worked through this situation was, you know, like I said, an eye-opening experience. So I just don't think you guys should feel bad in any way or think that something bad came across, because for us as viewers, I mean, the three of us were watching, and we all pretty much, I can say, feel a little bit of the same thing, right?
Yeah. And like, you know, Reagan was so patient. That's one thing that we noticed. And I said earlier, this episode made me like y'all so much. And Jeff as well. Like, I was so impressed with how introspective you were. I mean, at the gym, you were really focused on, how can I solve this problem? And I know you were an athlete. I know that that's part of your past. And it was just awesome to see, like, how your mind worked in that situation, and how y'all were both, like, focused on, you know, coming up with a solution for what happened that night. Was that kind of the turning point where you really kind of hunkered down and said, like, I need to solve this problem? I mean, was this something that you had been thinking about in the past?
I think that when you see it through other people's eyes, and you start to hear other people's opinions on something that you're living and breathing every day, and only, I mean, it was only between the two of us. And, you know, whereas I was telling Tamika, like, yeah, we're having problems. Yes, we're going through this. Yes, this has happened. She didn't really understand all of it. And I wasn't saying all of it, because some of it's embarrassing, some of it's difficult to talk about, some of it hurts to talk about. And I think that for us, I mean, I can't speak for Jeff, but for me, certainly there were things that I wasn't necessarily, things that I didn't want to tell my friends or discuss. And then all of a sudden that night, like after the paint party, it was just this like perfect storm where it all blew up, and it was out there, whether I liked it or not. And it's something that I had to confront, not just in the moment, but now I have to confront it again. And I think that it's helpful to look at, I mean, it's hard to be married. It's hard to be in a relationship. It's hard to be really good friends with somebody when you're like really letting it all hang out. Mm-hmm. And I think that really looking at yourself and what you've done wrong and how you can move forward and what you can build upon. I mean, I can't say enough for this experience. Like, getting to see it again sucks. It's so embarrassing. It's like, the first time you watch it, you're on pins and needles, and
no.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster, like cringing the entire time. But then you start to be like, oh my God, I remember how I felt in that moment. And that was so hard. And why did I react this way? Why would I say that? Like, if I didn't feel that way. And I think it really like gives you a better understanding of yourself and the people that are, that are around you.
Yeah. And being from the South, I mean, I kind of understand like the whole. I'm from a small town, so everybody knows everything about you. And when you've been in an area for a long time, everything knows everything about you, and it like reflects on your family as well. Mm-hmm. So you're so hyper aware of like everything you do, and you're not just doing it. Like, in my opinion, whenever this happens to me back at home, it's like I'm not just doing it, and it's not just falling on me. It like has a ripple effect, and people talking about me is gonna be like people talking about my family. And you know, you're right. It is like kind of cringy whenever you think about some of those things, but you know, honorable, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
There's absolutely like in the South, like there's an entire keeping up appearances thing going on.
Yeah, but that doesn't really make you guys real if you're just gonna keep up with appearances. So it's definitely worthy.
Like we're living through stuff, everyday life that people are going through on a regular basis and trying, pretend that things don't go wrong or that you don't have like issues as a married couple it'd be a total lie.
Yeah.
Who's more candid? Do you think, Reagan, you're more candid, or Jeff, are you a little bit more candid about like what's going on?
I don't know. Good question.
I'm not gonna hold anything back, and I'll be real most of the time. So.
Most of the time. 75% of the time, he's real. Well, I'm like, my heart is on my sleeve. That's all I can say. Like, it's hard to hide how I feel. I guess I might say one thing, but like my face tells another story.
I've noticed that actually watching the last 3 episodes. I'm like, your facial expressions give me life. I feel like I get so much more information from that than from your words.
We actually just watched the whole episode on mute, and we know exactly what goes on.
Yeah.
And now she's covered everything. Yeah, you wear a heart on your sleeve. Sometimes you run out of a long sleeve shirt.
But I feel like if people want to know a little bit more, information, Jeff, you wrote a blog on bravotv.com. So I guess if they want to get more, they can just go in and kind of read about that, right?
That was great.
Yeah. It was really great.
And that was really, they gave me, a couple questions out of the week and, allowed me to really think about it and answer it before. Because most of these episodes we're not watching until you guys are.
Right.
So it's one of these things where you're processing, you're going through it, and you're like, man, you're reliving it.
Yeah.
So,
we read it, and I thought it was great, and it was really well worded. So bravo.
Straight to the point.
So speaking of all of this emotional stuff, we're gonna move on to the next big thing. But before we do that, you are officially ingrained into the Southern Charm culture now. So I just have to make sure that y'all are worthy of the Southern Charm brand. So I'm from the South, and I know that y'all are long-standing Southerners, but I'm going to put you on trial. Reagan, I know you know what that means.
Reagan should pass all this.
Yeah, Reagan should pass all this. So I'm going to give y'all some Southern isms, some Southern sayings, and it's going to be kind of a fill-in-the-blank type of thing. So the first one's going to be easy. Whenever
it's not easy.
Oh,
well, for me. Okay.
didn't know any of these. That was crazy. Elmarie might know some, but okay. The first one's easy. Bless your blank.
Your heart.
Bless your heart. Right. Bless your heart. Next one, I'll give you some context. So whenever you're telling somebody to wait up, hold your blank.
Hold your horses.
Hold your horses. See, Mayte had
dogs.
Hold your dogs.
Hold your dogs.
Hold your dogs.
Like the hallway.
Right.
That's how little I know. I need to come visit you guys out there in the South.
Really? Okay, so next one. When you're saying that you're going to be somewhere a while, or you're going to be doing something for a while, we're going to be here till the blanks come home.
Till the cows come home.
Thank you. See, I'm not crazy.
Okay.
I'm not crazy.
It's really Texas, though.
Yeah,
These aren't really
Texas.
things you're going to hear in southern Louisiana.
Okay.
Oh, but see.
But you're close enough in Texas.
Bless your heart would be
Bless your heart's
Louisiana.
Southern.
Bless your heart is all across the South.
Yeah.
Okay, this one might be the most.
Bless your heart.
Do you guys know what lanyap means?
What's that?
No.
Oh, you got it.
Just turn the table.
I love this. What's
I know.
happening?
What is that?
Like something extra. Like if you get a little bit extra, they're like, that's lanyap.
Lanyap.
Lanyap. It's a little bit extra.
What? Where does that come from?
I'm gonna write this down.
Like Cajun French, and it means like a little bit extra. Like the best example is when they accidentally give you too much food, and they're like, "Oh, that's lagniappe, honey," and you're like, "Okay." Like, not gonna argue about the extra hush puppies, but whatever.
Well, that is amazing. Are there any other like?
Can you give us one more?
Yeah.
Hijack your quiz.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. So one more.
One more.
Okay. Well, I have two more.
Oh, okay.
Oh, our bad.
I wanted her to give one more too. Yeah.
Do you have one more?
Reagan?
Yeah.
One more New Orleans.
Oh God, I can't think of anything. You might be able to think of something.
Come on, Jeff.
Ooh,
Come on,
another
Dixie.
saying.
Pressure's on.
I don't know. I mean, I can think of like
All I can
Bon
think of is-
Vivant, like you just like to you like to drink and celebrate. So
That's
Oh,
my kind of
Gallivant?
party.
Yeah.
Okay. Gallivant, right?
Yeah,
That is kind of southern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind
Here. I have two more. Maybe if I'll think of another one before the end of the show, you can fill us in. This one is the most country podunk one I've had, and it's if somebody's like lying to you, that doesn't amount to a hill of blank.
oh my God, a hill of ant? I don't know.
That doesn't amount to a hill of beans.
Oh,
I never heard that
like an
before.
ant hill.
Never heard of that
I
one.
never heard that one.
And on that note,
Ever.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
No. Okay, this one you might know. Hill of beans, I know. I don't know what that
I
is.
should have known that actually. Now that you say it, I'm embarrassed.
Hill of beans. Okay, next one. You've done pretty good though. If you're like clutching your pearls and you're shocked, heavens to.
Betsy.
Thank you.
Nope, didn't get that one right either.
Nobody knows
You
who
guys-
Betsy
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I
And
was
you know,
like, Betsy?
Mayte was like, "Who's Betsy?"
Yeah, you said the answer, and I was like, Betsy, who's Betsy?
I don't know.
I haven't
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
that one either.
Always the one.
Betsy is always the one. Heavens to her.
Well, heavens to Betsy.
Heavens to Betsy. We're gonna move on to the next segment. Y'all are officially ingrained into Southern Charm. Congratulations, you passed the quiz.
Yay! So, Reagan, I can't stop looking at your jewelry. Your necklace is so cute.
Yes.
We're going to jump right into your jewelry launch party.
Yes.
A lot happened. Can we just say the arrivals of everyone? John showed up
All the
Oh,
fashions.
John.
without a shirt on. So I have to ask you, Reagan, if you were to rate John's style, because you're like a fashionista, what would you rate it from 1 to 10?
Look, I give John a 10 across the board every time.
Oh, okay.
I
Shirt
give
and no
John a
shirt.
hard time, but
Yeah.
John is John, and John wears whatever he wants, whether it's a little or a lot. Like he can be in turtleneck or shirtless, and like he's going to rock it and be confident. And so John is like my favorite person in the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks good. I will never ever say anything besides that.
yeah. John wears very little, and
Well,
we
how-
enjoy that
how'd you
very
feel-
much.
How'd you?
On the circumstance.
I know. Where
Yeah.
did he? What is up with those abs? It looked like he bought them on Amazon
Right.
or
They
something.
look photoshopped.
It looks like he painted them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm bored with this canvas. Let me.
Paint my own abs.
He should like market that like
Yeah.
by a number. Like he could really.
Like a paint by numbers, but another number. So
But in
what do
abs.
you think? What do you think about what he and Jasmine wore to the party?
Jasmine's so sweet. Jasmine's so sweet. I
Is
think
it-
she's the sweetest thing in the entire world. And if you have a body like that, then show it off.
Okay,
This isn't a bless her heart
Right.
moment. Is
Yeah.
it?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
I knew you were getting ready to go there. Like I could like smell that coming. I knew you.
Yeah.
Know. Amazing. I was actually going through. My cousin was there. She's a photographer, and she'd taken some pictures. And I was going through the photos of Jasmine, and she looks so good. Like
Good.
she's like a doll. Like she's the most beautiful little thing I've ever seen in my life. So I mean that leg and like her tiny little abs. Like my God, no, not bless her heart. Like can I be her for a day? I want to know what that feels like to be that little. Like
Oh my
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Well, there was a lot of her, and there was a lot of him, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of who else did we see? We
I wonder
saw.
what her other leg looks like. Do you think it's wooden? Just
No.
kidding.
huh?
I said I wonder what her other leg looks like since we only saw one of her legs.
Oh no.
No, I'm sure she's sweet. I'm taking your word for it. You're honest. You're honest.
So then we got a little taste of Tamika, right? Meddling into someone else's relationship.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she cornered Justin. And so from there, Tamika, man, every episode, she's just getting involved heavily.
She's getting a new name. Her new name is going to be Messy Mika.
Messy Mika.
I like
that.
Yeah.
Not messy.
Well,
Getting up at 2 a.m. every day to do the morning news.
Yeah.
True. And a few drinks, and I'm saying just seem a little tipsy that night. And when you care for your friends, you are concerned, and sometimes you can be a little, overbearing sometimes with your opinion towards them. Because I understand it. If you're of a certain age, you want your friend to settle down. I get it coming to them, but then sometimes, it's a time and a place for everything, though. So I do. In that moment, she was messy, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I say that a lot. And you'll see that throughout the season. I'm like, there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place. But when you're in, we're at the same place all the time. So is there really a time and a place? I mean, it's kind of silly to say that. But also, I mean, I think that, and while it can be frustrating, because it can be frustrating to hear somebody that is so involved and interested in your life, it means they care. Because to have a dismissive friend is to have a shitty friend. Mm-hmm. So when she's involved, it's because she really wants to get to the bottom of something, and it can drive you freaking nuts. But she cares, and maybe a party is the wrong time to address it. But it's like I said, we're around these people all the time. So these are our best friends. It's going to come up whether it's at dinner, at home, on the phone, at coffee, or at a party. It comes up. Mm-hmm. It's just life.
You guys have a really great balance with your friendship because you're both crazy, but you both make sense at the same time. And seeing you guys just both get drunk together is just, I want to see that every episode. But, I mean, for her...
more on any given day. I mean,
right. I just want to see everybody drunk. No, I'm kidding. But then again, we see her, and then are we going to see more of her being a little bit more intrusive in relationships throughout the season?
Or just a little outspoken. Just outspoken.
Tamika, I mean, to know Tamika is to love Tamika. Mm-hmm. And she is outspoken. And she is an open book. And I think that, any of us, we went through moments where filming was difficult. And I think that there's pressure going on and things are happening at such a breakneck speed that, she was trying to process everything and I think download from everybody at the same time. So yeah, absolutely. She's going to be in everybody's business because she likes to be in everybody's business, but not for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not there to harass you and tell everybody your dirty secrets the next day. I mean, she really wants to know so she can fix and get to the bottom of it.
Do you think Gian is a threat in any
God, no.
To anybody okay, good.
Just had to clear that up.
Yeah. Question,
because it's she keeps on popping up everywhere, and I keep on questioning why is this happening, and I'm waiting for the next episode for me to kind of get clarity on it.
Yeah. Us too.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, Reagan, do you feel kind of how Tamika feels a little bit? Do you think Gian is wants Tamika's life?
I mean, no, I don't know.
Jeff, what?
Jeff is no.
For me, it's weird because it's just there's always that person that's kind of
lingering.
Yeah.
Kind of sneak in. There's always a person, and I don't feel like it's bad or I don't think that. I think Tamika was just being Tamika. What is this about? I don't think there's anything super sinister or interesting. I mean, it's just that's going on.
Yeah.
Tamika's gonna voice her opinion always. She's going to say how it is, but
it's just I don't know. I mean, it's weird. I'm watching it back, and I'm I can't wait to see the next episode.
Yeah,
we can't either. Yeah, we can't either.
And I think that a person like Tamika is my favorite type of person because it's what you see is what you get, and she's an open book, and there's no kind of facade or veneer, which kind of makes it a little bit easier to navigate when it comes to communicating with them. And I love how you handled the whole Tamika situation at the party. True Southern Belle. I will go back again to say I like y'all even more this episode.
Yeah,
really, I do.
This was your episode to shine, and not in a bad way, in a good way.
Yeah.
It was just very clear and transparent.
I just have a quick question for Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you still have the painting? Painting night?
Actually,
I'll let him tell you what happened to the painting.
I had a friend ask me, he's serious, true question, I want to buy that painting from you. Oh. And I said,
I burned it. No.
No, I threw it when I came out of the car.
Like a frisbee.
Like a frisbee.
Oh,
It
wow.
flew into someone's backyard. I tried to climb and get it.
Really?
Oh, wow.
And I just didn't want to be in someone's backyard, like looking for a painting.
Yeah, I didn't want to be in
I-
someone's backyard either. So
Legend has it. It's
That night.
legend has it. It's still flying like a frisbee somewhere. It just didn't land.
has it.
Someone,
Or
Under
had it.
fireplace.
Or had it.
yeah, or
Or had it, yeah. Has there been any other boys' nights since then?
Very few.
Okay. I had to ask.
I love it.
S. Renee on our live chat says, I agree they definitely handle the situation well and were able to come together and handle things for the jewelry line. So there's people agreeing with you. And then we have Matt saying, Reagan is so pretty, sad I'm missing out. So.
Oh, I love Matt. He's been fun to get to know through social media.
Yeah.
He's great. He's
Yeah.
great.
Okay, so then we also have our segment.
Before we have our segment,
Okay.
I wanted to ask Reagan, with the jewelry line, I would love for there to be like a reinvention of the bolo. I'm a Southern man.
Oh, yeah, we should do that, huh?
I would love a bolo, and I have all these bolos that I would love to wear. Is that something that's in the works?
No, I hadn't even thought about it, but when we started to introduce the men's pieces in this last collection, we've been going through and adding more and more and thinking what we can do, and we've thought about the collar pieces and the tie bars, and so bolo is that we need to. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I'm here to help. I'm here to help. And the men's jewelry line's a great idea, by the way. I think now is the
Totally.
perfect time. Men are definitely more in tune with taking fashion. Not risks. It's not really a risk. Just going an alternate route. I mean, I'm all down for it.
Yeah, adding a little flavor to it.
Yeah, because in the lapel pins, I noticed that Jeff was wearing it in confessionals before this episode, with the jewelry launch, and I was looking at it wow, that is a nice piece. Just wondering where it came from, and then to know that's something you guys created, it's beautiful. Because before I even knew it was yours, it was that's an awesome piece.
How do we get
So,
some?
yeah, Reagan, do you want to let us know where we can find all your pieces? And
Everything is on ReaganCharleston.com.
perfect. And they can buy stuff from there and everything, right?
Everything, and we have 30% off with code Southern Charm right now.
Oh,
Come on, code Southern
I
Charm.
Viewers know that.
And it's 30% off because that is a little expensive.
ReaganCharleston.com.
.com.
Okay, I'm going to be in there looking for the bolos.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'll name one after you.
Thank you. The Charles.
So Charles, do you want to introduce our segment? Because
Yes.
I'm horrible at saying this.
Okay, this segment is a play on words, y'all.
Yeah.
It's the Les
There
les
you
bon
go.
temps roulé. Thank you, Reagan. Les les bon temps roulé. So we have this segment called Les les bon temps cray cray. And what we do is we pull the craziest moment from the episode.
Yeah.
And we just talk about what we thought was the craziest moment from the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to kick us off, Elmarie?
For me, mine is stemming a little bit from last week with young John. So he didn't think that he was wrong in anything with that boys' night. I kind of did. And so
Thank
then
you.
it was a problem. And I feel like Jasmine also, because she then sat on Tamika's side and they were talking about it. So it goes to him for being kind of still crazy and then bringing his friend and his friend also chiming in when he wasn't there, wasn't his place. So my cray cray kind of goes to John and his friend.
Oh, you mean when TT got in the way?
Yeah, when TT got in the way.
Let me tell you, I've been a fan of TT, and then I saw this episode, and I'm like, are you kidding me,
That was too
TT?
much.
Are you really going on that level?
Yeah.
It was just not, it was not pleasant.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So that's my cray cray.
That's your cray cray. Well, my is a bon ton cray cray moment, I think, in the best way, is Tamika going in at your jewelry party. I loved that. It was the best thing.
Oh, you stole mine.
Now, cray cray is not always a bad thing. Cray cray can be a good thing. And what Tamika did, I think, was worthy of a bon ton cray cray moment on AfterBuzz TV. So that was my moment, and I love Tamika for it.
Yeah, my Lizzie Bon Ton Cray Cray moment has got to be Rachel, because she showed up with the leg brace and heels to your party.
So perfect, though.
Yeah, that was a true champ moment. That's a cray, but in a good cray cray, not a bad one, because that sounds like something that I would do. But she totally pulled it off, and she was there for you as a friend. So that was really great.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That embodies her entire spirit, though.
Yeah.
Persistent.
I hope. Yeah.
Not a thing. Not even a leg brace.
Not.
Nothing. I'll hold her back.
Yeah, I hope we get to see a little bit more of her because she looks like a very genuine friend.
Yeah, solid friend. She looks like.
A lot of Rachel.
Yeah. Final question, Reagan, for you. I noticed that you keep in touch. Well, do you keep in touch with any of the people from Southern Charm? Original Southern Charm.
Well, one of our executive producers is Whitney. So Whitney and I go back and forth, and he's amazing, and his mother is so sweet. I just met her recently, right before.
You met her?
Yes.
Oh
we went out
my
to dinner for her birthday.
No way.
Yes, and she is every bit as elegant and just refined and southern and perfect and beautiful.
Oh, I'm so jealous. She is queen.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else. I think Tamika and I are going to go out to Charleston and go do a weekend at her house.
Oh
so
my God.
I will report back.
Yes.
Please do.
She's so perfect. She's just unbelievable.
Victoria is amazing.
Naomi Olindo, I met. We just met her randomly in New Orleans one weekend. And we were at the Columns Hotel in St. Charles and ran into each other. And we ended up going to Galatoire's the next day or 2 days later for dinner. And we've just stayed in touch. And it's been really nice because everyone's really welcomed us into this family.
That's awesome.
Love it.
What about you, Jeff? Have you do you know anyone from the original class?
I know Whitney. I know Patricia. I know Naomi. Pretty much met them all at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a great group of people to meet.
Can I be like an honorary member of Southern Charm cast? Can I be like, and I'll say heavens to Betsy and bless your heart, and it will amount to a hill of beans if I'm a part of this cast.
Say that.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We'll definitely close it out by just, letting us know where we can find you and where we can locate you on social media. And if you have anything to
else
add,
you want to say?
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter, I'm Reagan Nola, and then on Instagram, Reagan Charleston, Facebook as well.
Instagram, Facebook, I'm Jeff Charleston, and then on Twitter, it's Hefe Charleston.
Because he's a boss.
I noticed that. I was like, Hefe, I love it.
I know. A little Spanish to that. And then...
Well, yes, you guys, and to you guys, Reagan and Jeff, thank you so much because I know it's late. So thanks again for tuning in with us and being here. And you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at ElMarieTV.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter doing Instagram and Twitter things at Charles Conoly. And thank you so much, Jeff and Reagan, for being here. It is late.
Yes.
Y'all were great. Y'all
you.
still look great at 1 a.m. where y'all are. So thank you.
Yeah. And I'm your host, Mayte Carillo. You can find me everywhere at Mayte Carillo _. And like everyone has said, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you guys here next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Hello?
No. Hello? Hello.
Y'all still here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get to the live read, but I actually kind of skipped it because it's like, it's not, I don't want to interrupt our
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
And it's late anyway.
It was
I
so
feel like
late.
They were
Yeah.
great.
Because, I was like, I like the flowers.
Uh-huh.
Phone. I don't even know where I left my phone.
So my name is Josh, by the way.
Hi,
I used to
Josh.
end here way back in the day. I'm filling for the week.
Oh, okay.
Advice: when you have someone on Skype, when you leave this show, you have to kick them off first before you start introducing it. I mean, the outro for everything, because I can't play the music and then bring the lower throats up and have them on Skype and do everything at the same time.
Okay.
So,
it was
like-
my first time on
No,
Skype.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. So next time, it's like, okay, so we're gonna say bye to our guests. Bye. Blah blah
Okay,
blah.
just miss them
Boom, boom, boom,
first.
and then maybe talk for like 10, 15 seconds. And it's like, okay, now we're gonna go. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're not in trouble.
No. I was just.
All right, Mike is fired.
Yeah. Oh, that was it.
It's just that because a lot of things are done on one computer.
Yeah.
When engineering. So I have to play music. I have to get him off Skype. I have to get your lower third. Like, there's just so many things I have to do.
Right.
So,
A lot.
Yeah. So just be cognizant of that whenever you guys come on Skype. Besides that,
Yeah.
you guys are fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff, guys.
I don't know where I left my cell phone.
Good job, Mike.
Here it is. Thanks.
Yeah, you did very well. That was your first time leading?
No, I've led before. I lead regular Southern Charm, but this was my first time doing a Skype session. So it was like, I don't really know what to do. It's a little bit awkward, yeah.
No, you do well. Just,
And it was last minute too, so.
Yeah, we just got confirmation.